In this video, I'm going to give you tools, tips, secrets. I'm going to give away my knowledge, and usually that's not a good thing because you're going to add more competition to what you're already doing. I don't care. You guys mess with me, I want to give you some love back. I'll give you all the information for free. I just dropped probably the hottest music that was dropped this whole week. You know what I mean? Just wow. Between I Can't Lose, this thing called Talk, and a bunch of other songs. They even made a really good shout out to the truckers for delivering everything to the for the holiday season. Gave them a little bit of love out there, and it came out really nice. But probably the hottest music that was out there this week. How did I do that? I used a program called Suno, S-U-N-O. I was making music about a year ago, spent, $4 or $5 to make a studio, and then I only got 2 songs out and I got hacked, and I couldn't afford to just go buy new equipment after it was hacked. And so I just kept writing lyrics. I offered my services. If anybody wanted to hire me on a track, I'd go and rap just to get the money to turn the studio back on so I could record my music. Well, that didn't happen, and it's been a year. So I took the leap, and I went down the rabbit hole, and I found a couple programs that are really good. After doing my research, I chose Suno. And I got to tell you, it's mind-blowing. What I'm going to tell you is tools that could make you absolutely awesome. You know what I mean? What it can do is absolutely amazing. First of all, it can write you a whole song, but if it writes you a song, it's not going to be wow. But it can create you a good sounding song. Just tell it what you want it to do, and it'll create a song. And the beat will be great. You can change anything. Just absolutely mind-blowing. Now, people that have been around me for a long time, they've watched me write lyrics. They've read a lot of my lyrics. You've read so many lyrics, you're actually trained. You're a wordsmith, and maybe you don't even know it. Now, a lot of musicians aren't going to like this, and it's going to affect the music industry, period. But change is going to happen one way or the other, not. One thing that's nice is maybe you never thought you could be a musician. Well, you can now. Okay? Maybe you don't have the voice. I don't have the greatest voice. You seen me on my song Air Surf Glide. I sang, but it wasn't that great. And I poked fun at myself on it, and it made it okay. Like, oh yeah, he can't sing, but you know what? It was cool. The way you did it, we like that. I'm more of a rapper, you know what I mean? I don't have a singing voice, but this will give you anything you want and any way you want to do it. Take a look at my, it's on YouTube. It's this thing called Talk. It's a YouTube exclusive, and it's somewhere between Irish folk and almost like a kind of country rap in a way. My lyrics, 100% my song, beautiful song. In fact, it took me 12 hours to get the first version of that, and then my dad liked it so much. It was this thing called Talk, but it was more of a Naughty Boy version. He liked it so much, he wanted me to make a clean version. So probably about 6 hours later, I had a clean version, and that came out. So it does take time. You can produce blah right away. It'll still sound great, but the lyrics ain't there. So Suno, absolute game changer. You do not have to be a musician. All you have to do is be pen strong. You've listened to enough music in your life. You have an idea of what great lyrics will be. It's cheap. It's actually less than you're going to spend on a Netflix account, and you can make like 2,000 songs a month. Now, when I said I'm going to give you skills, tools, and tips, I'm not just going to tell you, hey, this is it. That's where I made those songs. Okay, 100% I made those songs, and I signed up for my account maybe a week ago. Okay, so from that point, I made those songs. Those songs were all made in a week, and I had no previous experience. Okay, so wow, I just came out with the hottest shit going. Now, people will be like, that's not you. We don't like AI. I tried everything I could do to turn my studio on. I'm an actual artist, but I don't have $5,000 to buy new equipment that could be hacked tomorrow. You know, I wanted to turn music on. I tried everything I could. So I took the leap of faith, went here, and the results, absolutely amazing. Now, do I still want to record my own music? Absolutely. You know, these were my songs. Now, could I have had them as good? Probably not. I would not have had the singer. I could have rapped both versions better. Maybe. Somewhat, because I can chop words fast. Anyhow, we're getting off track. Absolutely amazing. I couldn't have had that Irish folk singer like that. None of that. Now everybody's going to have the same tool as you. Okay. You get on there, you make music, you're going to love it. You're just going to have fun. It's something you created. You made the lyrics. You created the song. You're going to love it. But it doesn't mean the world's going to love it, especially there's so much music out there. I mean, when you start talking, this thing can produce a whole song in 2 minutes for you. Well, you're going to tweak everything, and it's going to take you a long time to morph your idea into there. And just because you write something doesn't mean it's going to be translated out there. You're going to have to tweak it till AI can work it the way you want to do it. That's why, like, the first time I did that song, 12 hours. Okay, that was 12 hours of working, listening. You know, I generate these songs. I got to listen to them. I don't like that. No, let's try this. Let's move it like this. I'm readjusting the way I'm writing my lyrics. I'm going in there and I'm rewriting my lyrics a lot. You know what I mean? Just so the way the computer's going to say it in the genre of what I have, so it gives that flow. If you look at my song, I Can't Lose, it flows. You just want to move with it. That's a lot of adjustment. That's a song I wanted to record. I was trying to record that song a long time ago. Had it written, you know, but we dropped it and it's wow. Okay, so if you're going to go down this path, you don't have to sing. You never thought you could even make music. But how much music have you listened to your lifetime? I believe in you. And if you followed me for any period of time, you watched me write lyrics. People got tired of watching me write lyrics. And, you know, some people would dog me out on my lyrics because they don't understand how I would say them. I write lyrics fast. I get to the point. And they'd be like, yeah, those ain't, the lyrics ain't wow. But when you hear them actually the way I wanted them spoke, which take me a long time to do, they're wow. They hit different. Like, well, okay, maybe what he was writing was a lot better than we thought. But when I say it in my head, they can't understand it. So what does that relate to you? I've never wrote music. You know what's cool? You know what you like to hear? What is something you've never heard about? What is something that you wish they would make? What style of music do you want to bring back? You know, I did it's on, it's everywhere right now. You know, you can get it on Apple Music, Spotify. It's genre jumping, ADHD genre jumping mix. And it's like 6 short, they would kind of be like YouTube shorts. I just jump through genres playing. And they're only one verse. I didn't make it into a whole song, just showing you, wow. And what made them good is the lyrics, okay? Those are 100% my lyrics. If everybody can use the same tool and everybody has these great sounds, what's going to separate you from the rest of the people? Lyrics. Quality, heavy-duty lyrics. When you think you got it right, put it in there, listen to it. You'll probably have to rewrite it a bunch of times anyhow. Then when you have it where you think you like it, you might want to rewrite it twice more. And then you have that kind of, if it's so good, they're not going to care where it came from. You know, there will be some people that says, hey, no, nah, it's AI music. We don't fuck with it. You know, they're against it completely. And I understand that. But some people have never made music. They don't have the voice for music. They're not going to be a rapper. You know, maybe they're insecure about the way they look. Nobody knows who you are. You can just come out with these wonderful songs. But if you're going to come out with the songs when music is created so easily, the one thing I can tell you, you need to pen strong. Okay, you need to be a wordsmith. Act like you're there. I don't care if you've never wrote a song before. act like you're that person. You know, let's say a guy goes into the octagon and he knows he's fighting the champion. He's watched the video. He knows what he can do. The moment he starts thinking he can't beat him, he's probably already lost. Okay, so you need to go into this thing, I am that person, and then rewrite it till it's perfect. You love every word. If you love every word, other people will love every word. Okay, now there's different kinds of music. You got to decide what you're going to make when you make a song. You can just make something that is going to be perfect for a YouTube short, an Instagram reel. So all you got to do is write a verse. Okay? And if you're going to write a verse, what are you trying to do? Or if it's a song, what are you trying to do? Because there's many kinds of music. Okay? What I mean by that is, are you trying to make something that's going to be a hit and people will listen to, they'll add it to their playlist in 5 years, this song will still be part of their life? That's very hard to do, but that's where the money is. But if you're just doing music for you, because there isn't a lot of money in streaming, let's be honest, even if you got a hit song, if you can't go perform it and sell tickets, there's not a lot of money. Can you make enough money where it's an income? Yes, absolutely you can, but it's not going to be what you're thinking. You're not no rap star. You're not going to drive the Bentley, most likely, off not performing the music. That's where the money is, selling concert tickets. Streaming is very small money. You get a half a penny a stream if you're lucky. So that takes a lot. If the song's good enough and you've got millions and millions of views, okay, that's an income that could pay off your house. That's an income that can make your life way easier. And Sono is less than the price of Netflix. And you get 2,000 songs a month on their big plan. I think I spent $180. I just bought the year. When I see, they'll let you do 10 to try it out. Sono will give you 10 tries for free a day. Now, if you're going to use them, you got to get a subscription because you're doing it for free. If you're going to actually take what they give you and make money off it, well, you got to get your subscription. But you can go around there and play, and you can be absolutely blown away, and it doesn't cost you nothing. Okay, Sono did not pay me to do this. I'm trying to take care of you guys, man. Usually you don't want to give people what you're doing because that's going to put more people into it. You know what I mean? I'm going to have more competition. Well, you know what? Everything isn't about money, man. You're worth it. Maybe you've never thought you could make music. You can. And I always tell you to try something new. Go out there and be your best person. I'm not saying music is going to do it, but, you can make a song for your girlfriend that you could write how you met, and they will sing it like a love ballad. I mean, you'll absolutely, you want to talk about a wild night of sex. You create a song telling you how much you love her in moments of your life that you read out. Oh, buddy, you are going to have a great night, and do it for her birthday or something, Christmas, who knows? So it doesn't have to be for the world. I would say, if you are going to try to make music for the world, open up a different account. Put your beginnings ones on a different, get a new account. Don't attach it to you right away. Put it out. Let it see how it feels. And then when you start getting good, now you can put music here. You can have multiple accounts. I can have an account for this genre or this. You can do whatever you want with your music. But you don't want to come out with music that is and then already kind of blow your wad. People be like, yeah, it's average music. We don't really care. Because then when you want to come out, you want to be really proud of the first thing you come out with. You want it to be like, wow, holy moly, you made that? And there's many kinds of making a song. Sometimes making a song, it's meant to only be a one-listen song. What do I mean by that? I make a lot of one-listen music, especially when I used to just freestyle. That song, that lyrics, what I was saying was only meant to be listened one time. Entertainment one time, you forget about it. Sure, there are some of them that were so good, people will go back and they'll listen to some of my older stuff where I was just freestyling, drunk, hammered. But most of all that music was just one listen music. It's not like you put it together in this package for this. You could make a song about welding. You're into welding, you make a welding song. Well, most people are probably not going to listen, but they'll listen to it once, and it was educational. It gave them a glimpse into your life, and maybe they don't ever listen to it again, but it's a one listen. You can make a one listen that's educational, interesting, still got a vibe to it, but you know it's not going to be saved on a playlist. It's not going to make you a lot of money, but that music that's good for the culture. It's good for everything. One listen music is very important. So it doesn't always have to be that way. Now, there's other things. Let's say you're into cooking. Sometimes you do some cooking, and sometimes you show your recipes online. Not saying you're a major influencer, but you show them, hey, today we're making this. Well, if you can make that recipe, I bet you could write lyrics good enough to make a short, and it's singing about that recipe, and you can put it in your video. Like literally, you just made a song about the recipe you just made and cooked it into your video. That makes your video way cooler. So there are so many tools that this can be used for. Now, I was probably going to make a movie this year. I'm going to make a movie, and it's going to be a wild movie if I end up making it. Well, I'm always going to need background music. When I'm out doing these things, I need music, and I don't want to have other people's music where I owe them money. So this was another thing why I didn't mind taking the leap. Now, I've already got a bunch of music. Anything you're going to hear in my film is all going to be me. So I don't have to get permission to use this and that. If I'm in the car, yeah, I'm playing my music, and you see us traveling down the road. I might be, singing it while I'm in the car for a small section of that movie. It might just be background noise as I'm talking about something in this different scene. But now that's all mine. I don't have to have anybody else's music in my movie. So it gives you the power to do so many things. And if there's a lot of people that really don't like AI music, and I totally understand that. The world's going to change whether you want it to or not, and I've definitely been taught some hard lessons about that along my life. I would have been recording music, but I got shut down. I only got 2 songs, and I think they're great songs. But these new tools, they gave me an Irish folk singer, and her voice is like powerful. It made that song, holy moly. I couldn't have done that even in the studio. I don't know a woman that could sing like that, and it was like, bam, just beautiful. So even if people go against you, you might not have been ever making music, and now you're making music. If you're going to play on a video game, maybe try to make some music. You don't have to go like a year-long subscription. It's probably $20 a month if you only go by month. I think I paid for a year. It was like $14.80 for 2,000 songs a month. Now, granted, when I was making my songs, the one that took me 12 hours, I probably ran through 200, maybe 300 of my songs on that month. Who cares? I don't care. The music set came out so good. It was $14.80. I'll just open up an email and buy another Suno account. You know what I mean? As soon as they say I'm out of my credits and I got to do whatever, I'll just go on a different computer. I will use my other email address, and I'll purchase it, and then I have 4,000 songs a month if I run into that problem. I don't care. The music came out so well. If you look at what I got over this last week, and my cost is $14.80, and I still got massive songs I can still do. I could just go on after this and get to working on a new song, and who knows what it's going to be. But the absolute key is take your time with the lyrics. Rewrite it. Now, you can play around, but if you're actually going to put it out there and on your account, make sure it's right. Now, you can open up another Instagram or another TikTok, and you can start loading the music that you make as you like it, but you're going to notice that, whoa, I got way better at this. I'm only on my first week, and look what I did. It's unbelievable. You know what I mean? But I have a lot of time being a wordsmith. I've been writing for 10 years now, 10 years of experience. but you have a lifetime of listening to music. So don't burn your core network, meaning friends, families, all this, unless you think it is wow right away, because you are going to get wow right away. Give it a month or two, you're going to become a genius on this, man. When you started playing a Call of Duty, you might not have been that guy, but now you're bam, bam. You know what I mean? So you have the ability to do that. And I think it's exciting. And it's kind of one of those things where, it does hurt you to tell people this. I don't care. It's so crazy that I want this for you. If it's something, if you dreamed about being music, but you just thought it was never for you. It's a miraculous time where you can do it. You can create it. And songwriters, it's your music. You songwrited it. You could even write music that is set up for like movies. You can look at what kind of movies they're making, and they're going to make another shooty bang bang with a spy or this, that, the other thing. Things I always do. Maybe you write a perfect thing for that, and you know what I mean. And you turn it into music for Hollywood. All yours is set up. Your account's always set up for, hey man, I make music for Hollywood movies and this, that, the other thing. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, and you don't have to use your face. The people don't have to know who you are, and you can just collect some revenue. Or maybe it's just a hobby. I'm not saying you're going to do it and it's going to be wow. There's going to be so many people doing it. It's going to be saturated, and the one thing that is going to set you apart from everybody else: lyrics. Powerful lyrics, top 10 lyrics. That's what's going to set you apart. And write it 3 times, write it 5 times, tweak it, boom, boom, boom. Spend 4 days on a song. The thing is, you only need one. I know a lot of rappers throughout my life, and they would go make 5 songs. I'd make 1 song a month. I just take my time. I didn't care. I would rather have 1 good song than 30 songs. No, I don't want 30 songs that are going nowhere. I want 1 song that is amazing. And if that's the best advice I have for you. SUNO. And you can do it right on Google, or they have an app. I use both of them. Sometimes I use it on the web. Sometimes I use the app, and you're going to be delighted. I really gave you a gift here. Okay, because you're worth it. Never forget that. It was too good to hold to myself, man. I would have been greedy trying to not tell you about this. You're welcome.